Okay, see if you guys can do this one here. We are now on Mars. We're going to fire a cannonball at 60 meters per second, at an angle of 17 degrees to the horizontal. Okay. Gravity on Mars is 3.771, and you're on top of a hill. And here and over here, well, 800 meters away, there's another mini hill, um, 50 meters high. The question is, will the cannonball be able to clear this hill here? Okay, so when you fire it, it might reach its maximum height. I don't know where, somewhere around there. Will it be able to clear this mountain, this hill? So the hill is only 50 meters high. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Remember, try and locate the maximum height, the location of the maximum height, and then once you're at the maximum height, find out how long it would take for the cannonball to get to the mountain horizontally, and then and then uh, and then work out how far down the cannonball would free fall. Well, anyway, do whatever you have to do. Find out if this cannonball is able to clear this hill. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this here, as usual, break this up here into its vertical and horizontal components. Okay, and then jump to the velocity time graph, velocity time graph, uh, velocity time graph here. Um, well, we're trying to find out the time it takes to get to the maximum height. So the time it takes to get to the maximum height is this here. Um, well, once you've got your time to the maximum height, you can actually find the actual maximum height. So that would be this area here. Okay. So blah 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 blah. So the area is this. If I'm going too fast, then you have to watch some of the earlier videos. So from earlier, from above means I've worked it out somewhere high above. Well, up here somewhere. From above means somewhere up there. I've already worked out that the time it takes to get to the maximum height is given by this, which in turn given by this. Okay, so this is the time it takes to get to the maximum height. So what we know so far is that the actual maximum height to the horizontal is this bit here. Okay, so that's this height here, and the time it takes to get to the maximum height is given by this in seconds. We want to know the actual distance here. Okay, so the distance here, imagine you and your dad sitting in a car here, driving it at this speed here for 4.73 seconds. How long will it? Well, how far would you have traveled after 4.73 seconds? Then just get the speed times time. That will give you this distance here. So this distance here represents this. Okay, so the distance here represents this. Remember, we worked out that the maximum height was whatever it was, and then we got to add it to 150. So that gives us a total height above this level here to be this. Okay, so this is what we know so far. This is 271.4 meters away to the maximum height. So now find out how long it would take for you and your dad sitting in the car here to travel from the maximum height to the mountain. That would give us the time of flight to this place here. Okay, so well, if the mountain is 800 if the hill here is 800 meters away, and from here to here it's 200 and blah blah blah. By the way, the diagram's not to scale. So if you want to know, well, we now want to know the time it takes to get from here to here. So get this, take away this, that will give us that will give us the distance, and then divide it by the speed. That will then give us the time in seconds it would take to get from here to here. Okay, that will give us this. Okay, so now what? Let me think. Oh yeah, so we know that from here, from well, it takes 9.21 seconds to get from here to here. So hang on, let me think. Yeah, so you are going to free fall for 9.21 0.21 seconds. The thing is, if you're going to free fall for that amount of time, hang on, if you're going to free fall for 9 point for this amount of time, how far would you have traveled? Remember, it could be. Remember, you're free falling for 9.21 seconds. So you could free fall for this distance, you could free fall to this distance, you could free fall to this distance here. Okay, so well, you're at the maximum height, you're going to free fall for 9.21 seconds. So work out the distance traveled. Okay, well, work out the vertical distance here. So jump to this free fall formula here, and then put this into the t. So, well, anyway, if you're going to free fall for 9.21 seconds, you're going to free fall for this for that distance. So what we know so far is, hang on, the maximum height is 191.47 meters high. Now, if you free fall for 9.2 whatever it was, 9 point something, 9.21 seconds, you're going to travel this distance here, which happens to be this. Now, if you get this, take away this, that represents the height here. Well, it turns out that, well, if the mountain is 50 meters high, which is here, then you know that it's going to hit the mountain, well, the hill. So it's going to reach its maximum height like this. Remember, this is not to scale, so it's going to hit this rather than fly over it. Okay. So well, that's the answer. So I'm going to scroll back to the start, and then I'm going to scroll through all the answers here, so you can pause at any time you want. Okay. So blah 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 blah. Okay, hang on. I'm just scrolling so you can pause whenever you want. Hang on. Almost there. Yeah. So here you can tell that it's going to hit the mountain, the hill. Okay.